Ideas are great, but action is essential. If the ideas that you have are paralyzing, then you have to ditch them and figure out something better, because ideas are only valuable if they can be implemented, right? If something that you want to do, the dream that you have for yourself is too big and it's paralyzing you, preventing you from moving forward, then it's not a good dream. The dream has to be within your grasp, within your ability to actually move forward. You could have the greatest dream in the world, the best plan, but if you don't actually take steps towards that plan, that idea, it sits in your documents, it sits in your notes folder, it sits on your desk, and that's not valuable. What's valuable is actually doing something in the world. And so a good idea is one that is inspiring while also able to be implemented right now. If you can't act on the idea right now, it's not a good idea. Maybe for the future. Don't let the fact that you can't implement it now discount your ability, your self-worth of being able to come up with these ideas, right? It could be the case that you have incredible ideas, but you're just not able to implement them right now. That doesn't mean that you're less capable as a person. It just means that right now there's some steps you have to figure out to be at that level of success to where you could actually implement that idea, that level of skill, that level of ability, whatever it is, right? I see this in my own life because I have all the greatest ideas in the world, but they're worth nothing if they're on Google Docs. And I have thousands of pages of ideas that have not been implemented, and they're worthless. They're worth something to me, but to the world, they're just numbers, letters on a screen. Worthless. So there's a lot of people who talk ideas. Very few actually act on them. A good idea must be acted on to be worth anything in this world. You have what it takes. The goal, if you can't act on your ideas right now, the goal should be to make them able to be implemented. Shrink the idea, make it easier to digest, easier to act on. Hold the big ideas as the long-term goal. Keep that in mind when you break the idea down, that this idea is not less valuable, but I'm making it less so that I can act on it, so that it becomes valuable, right? Sometimes ideas are too paralyzing because they're so big that they cause us to not move forward. And that's the worst thing that an idea could do to you. An idea is supposed to be something that you can act on and move forward in the world. It's supposed to bring you forward, That's the whole point of being able to think, is coming up with something that will be good for me or good for the people around me, which in turn is good for me. And so in order for it to be, that whole process to work, it has to be able to be done. I'm saying this whole thing in several different ways so that it gets through your skull. Action is essential. Ideas are good, but action is essential. Find a way to act on your ideas, even if it requires you to step off your high horse, and figure out or admit that you're not able to do what you want to do at the current point in time. Because in order for it to happen, along the line, you're going to have to figure out that maybe this idea is too big for me right now. But the weight of that responsibility that would be required of me to lift that burden should not crush me right now, because I'm not capable of lifting it. I'm not going to let it crush me. I'm going to leave it where it is. I'm going to chip off some pieces and try to lift those and move those up the mountain. There's a whole idea of building your mountain of confidence. So if you want to get this dream, this massive boulder, into your mountain of confidence, you want to increase the height of the massive heights that you can achieve in this life, whatever that phrase is. You want to chip off little actions at a time from this massive boulder and take them over as many as you can at a time to your mountain of confidence. And eventually you'll get that whole boulder, but you got to break it down in small pieces. That's that. Action is essential. Ideas are great. Vice versa. Ideas are great, but action is essential. Why not us?